So now let's invite Pratha Chauhan on the stage. Give a big hand for her, everyone. Boys and girls, थोड़ा सा आप ताली बजाते रहे.
Please think about your legacy because you're writing it every day. A warm good morning, everyone. This is Pratha Chauhan. I hope you guys are doing well. Good morning to honorable judges, teachers, and all my dear parents and friends here. This is me, and I insist judges to give me a topic.
Hi Pratha.
Hello, ma'am.
My topic is for you is reservation.
Okay. So, it's a very environmental concern topic. I would like to tell you that first of all, let me tell you that what is the meaning of reservation. So, reservation is the process of reserving the seats for the in the Indian government for the one who belongs from the OBC, ST, and SC. The reservation is a process that is benefited to ST, SC, and OBC, and initially it was a process of reservation that it would be a policy of 10 years, but it is 70 years after independence and reservation is still in India. Let me tell you that I don't find reservation a good scheme because I think that political leaders, especially if I talk about the political leaders, then political leaders are taking advantage of reservation by just they're entering in politics and they're showing their caste and creed on the basis of the greed. They are just entering in the politics. So I don't find reservation a good thing for the politicians, and I think in my opinion that reservation should be given to those people who are disabled, because nowadays we all know that we all believe in equality and nowadays we treat people equally. So I personally believe that the government should give reservation to the people only who like needs actually, because nowadays we can see in the institution the children are suffering so much. Children are actually suffering so much, let me tell you, that because the children who are capable are losing their seats just because of the reservation. The one who wanted, actually in our society, there's a section where the section who is very rich and wealthy, and another section which is going through the process of poverty, they do not even have anything to eat. So I believe that reservation is good thing for those people because poverty is still existing in India. So I would like to say in the last but not the least, I want to say by concluding my topic that reservation should be there but in a limit. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
So Pratha, do you know that who has taken the first step for this reservation system?
Yes, ma'am. I do believe that women have taken the step for reservation, and I personally believe that women have the power that they can do everything in the world. As you have given one topic.
My question is, who has taken the first step for the reservation system?
Ma'am,
Initially, who has...
Ma'am, with reference to ma'am's question, I would like to answer that Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar has took the initiative of reservation.
Okay, and can you give any one demerit of this reservation?
Yeah, ma'am.
Especially for the general caste.
Yeah. So, as ma'am said, with reference to ma'am's question, I would like to answer that the demerits for the students, personally I believe that the students which generally belong to general category are facing lots of problems because there are lots of students who belong to general category and they are capable, but their seats are reserved by the ST, SC and OBC. Still they are capable, but still their seats are gone by the ST, SC and OBCs.
Good.
Thank you.
Pratha, I do have a question.
Okay, sir.
My question is that in our country, India, the reservation is given on the basis of caste. Yes. But we all know that poverty does not come by seeing the caste. So, do you think that in country India, reservation should be given on the basis of one's financial condition, not on one's caste?
Yes, sir. I do believe with your point that reservation should be given on the basis, or not on the basis of the caste and creeds, but on the basis of the conditions like poverty and all. So I personally believe that poverty is still existing in India and it's on the peak. And I would say with India, with a population of 1.3 billion people, it's very difficult to suffer. So I believe that it should be given on that point.
बहुत बढ़िया. That's great. That's great.
How's the Josh audience? It's very sad to see that you are not enjoying this beautiful weathers. I agree that we cannot add more time to our life, but we can definitely add more life to the time that we have. So I insist you to please enjoy each and every moment of your life. Hello and a very auspicious morning to one and all present here. This is me, Katyayani Singh, standing right in front of you. And it's very great for me that I'm going to represent myself among such a good speakers, respected teachers, and my dear listeners and judges. Now I would like to request to the judges, please give me any topic.
Very warm welcome, Katyani.
Thank you, ma'am.
My topic is for you is consequences of cheating in exams.
Once again, a very greeting to one and all. Exams. May I know how many of you students like exam? Only studious one, right? Even we never like exams. No, just because we have to study a lot. But according to our Indian education system, we always study all the academics, and at last we have to give exams in order to prove our quality and ability. So no doubt exams is very important for us. It shows you your spark, it shows your talent. But the thing is, we always can see that few students try to cheat in exam. But why? You are studying an exam and you are cheating. Don't you think by doing this you are destroying your future? But let's have a look why students cheat in exam. How can we give any reason? Students, we cannot only say that students are responsible for cheating the exams, because if a student is cheating, it means whole education system, parents, even teachers are responsible behind it. So let's have a look why actually students do cheating. The first reason is afraid. All the students are afraid because they want more and more. Even after studying a lot, still they try to cheat just in a greed of getting 1 or 2 extra marks. Then second reason, there is an unhealthy competition between us and our competitors. That is the main reason why students try to cheat in exam. But after doing cheating, they don't realize that they are not cheating with education system or with other teachers. They are cheating with their self, because most of people try to cheat an exam and try to get more and more marks. The thing is that you can cheat an exam and you can get more marks. But the thing, you cannot cheat with life, because life is not same for everyone. Yes, I do agree, exam is just a paper which cannot define your future. But in your life, if you try to cheat, most of people try to cheat in this exam, and we try to understand life is not easy for everyone. Everyone has a different exam paper you have to solve by own. That's all about my topic. Thank you for attention. I would like to ask teacher, please ask me any question.
Katyayani, you have said one line that not only the students are responsible for the cheating. So are you trying to say that teachers and the parents are the promoter for that? Can you please justify it?
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful question. Well, as we can see that if a student is cheating, it means our education system, our teachers, and our parents all are responsible, because they always try to make a pressure on a student, because they want their student to do better and better, but they never try to understand the student's mentality. That is problem. And I believe if we try to maintain a healthy relationship between parents, teacher, and a student, so we can easily conquer this problem.
Yes, Katyani, well said. Okay, well delivered. Just a small question. If we try to figure out the exact reason behind why a person is cheating, okay, if we can identify, you said some points like what can be the reasons behind the cheating, but what is the solution, the way out?
Yes, sir, I can say. Most of students try to find shortcut and they always try to find cheating because in cheating they just have to cheat with others but they don't realize that they are cheating with their self. So shortcut could be the answer. And the second thing, they don't want to do hard work. That could be the reason.
Okay, so we can get the lesson from here that okay, hard work and sincerity. Okay, this is very important. So that a person realizes that cheating is the what?
Cheating is like a shortcut, taking
Shortcuts.
shortcut.
Okay, so we don't have to take shortcuts. Everybody, please, are we listening? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, audience.
Every day is a new beginning with new possibilities, as everything is possible when you are impossible. A very energetic morning to one and all present here. This is Farah Shimali standing right in front of you, and I am really very grateful to have this opportunity to keep my views in front of you. Topic.
Hello. Yes, Swara. Very good morning and welcome on
Good
stage.
morning.
The topic for you is importance of family.
Family.
Okay. Proceed.
If God Himself cannot come to us, He has sent us the family. Most importantly, our parents. We all are we can say that if we are connected to someone, we are most connected with our family members, most importantly with our parents, with our brothers, with our sisters. You all might have heard a proverb that blood is thicker than water, which says that apne to apne hote hain. When everyone will leave you, the only one will support you is your family. You know what? Your family is what that always encourage you. They will always want something good to happen with you. They will always want you to guide you at the right path. They never want you to be misguided always. You know what? Your family is what always teaches you the good things and says you that what's good and what's bad for you. You know what? We all should always feel proud to be in a family and to have a family. If I particularly talk about importance of family, there are two types of family. One is said as nuclear family and other is the joint family. First of all, I just want to clear that what is a joint family. A joint family includes a mother, father, uncle, aunt, their children and again grandparents too. In the joint family, everyone lives with a great happiness. They share their good and their happy and bad feelings with each other. Likewise, when we talk about a nuclear family includes mother, father, and their children. But if I talk about the advantage of nuclear family, we can find the personal space in the nuclear family that we all know that is so obvious. But when I talk about my personal opinion, I would say that joint family is the best mean to live our life because there we can live happily with our family members. We can share our happy and bad moments with them. So that's all from my side. Thank you for your attention.
बहुत बढ़िया. Yes, judges, please.
Yes, Swara, very nicely delivered. Okay. One question, obviously. You talked about joint family, right?
Yes, sir.
So nowadays we are seeing the trend that nuclear family is more in the flow. We are practicing nuclear family. But what are the most important values of life that we get from a joint family we are deprived of in the nuclear family?
Yes, sir. I have answered to your question. Like, as we all know that as the time is changing, technology is also changing. And if we talk about the Indian culture is related to respect towards our family members that we can learn in a joint family. The main thing that we learn from a joint family is respecting your elders. When we live with our grandfather, grandmothers, and our uncle and aunts, we learn we can see that we learn so many things with, like, they are the most experienced persons we can say who can tell us about what's good and what's bad for us. So that's, I know about that we can learn from a joint family, like we can live happily and share our happy and good times with each others.
बहुत बढ़िया. Any question from?